Welcome everybody. In today's market recap, I'll show you how to know when the market has nothing to offer. So today I didn't take any trade because all the pairs were choppy. Even those that were not choppy, we aren't really giving me what I was expecting. So I should take you guys through everything, my thought process from beginning to the end, starting with gold. So on gold, the market started with a small bullish candle before moving bearish throughout the whole of at the beginning of Asian session. After that, it made a minor retracement to around 50% of the level and broke structure at this point. So as it broke structure, I couldn't use this as my supply zone because this was just the first break of structure. And I always wait for two breaks of structure, or a break of structure and a change of character, to determine the trend of the market for that day, and to at least allow markets to arrange itself before we start entering trades. Okay, so this one was not going to be possible, and you can see that it took liquidity at this point before breaking structure again to the downside. Now we finally gotten two breaks of structure. The next thing to do is to look for a supply zone, and right here there's nothing visible as a supply zone. If you are planning on using this candle as a supply zone, first of all, it's too big, so maybe you just want to take from this place. Now, the reason this is not still a valid supply zone is because these candles didn't, push away from it with enough volatility. So that was how I ended up not taking a trade on gold. Let's move over to EURUSD. Now, on EURUSD, the market started bearish as gold did and broke structure at around 4 o'clock. Even if it wasn't a very, very serious break of structure, it was still a break of structure. Then it changed character at this point at 5:45 a.m. After that change of character, it couldn't sustain a bullish trend. It changed character again to the downside at 8 a.m. Now, there wasn't any place to take a trade from because this zone, which price still reacted off of, this could have also been a winning trade. But the reason I didn't take this trade was because this candle had already mitigated this zone. And once a zone has been mitigated, price can still tap into it and use it to continue trend, but there's a higher probability of it just going through the whole zone. So and part of my rules is never to take a trade from a mitigated zone. So this was a mitigation, and I decided to stay away from this one. After price broke structure here, I couldn't find any valid supply zones too. This zone could have been a place to trade from, but if you're entering here, you have to place your stop at an invalidation point, and that invalidation point is this high here. So this stop loss would have been so wide. I don't really trade zones by placing my stop loss close to the zone when the invalidation point is far away from it. I'd rather not take the trade and miss a setup like this one now than take something and then it will weak me out and move in my direction. So anyway, that's it. I didn't take a trade here. Price broke structure here. There wasn't also any valid supply zone. It's changed character. Then again, there wasn't any valid demand zone here. And price was just doing that, going up and down, change character again. And now it's looking like it has taken liquidity at this point. So that's it. After taking liquidity, it just kept on going down. But that's it on EURUSD. Moving over to GBPUSD. On GBPUSD, market was a little bit more calm than EURUSD. Price was at least respecting market structure. It wasn't just changing characters at every new range it formed. So the market started bearish for the day and entered an accumulation phase from 1:45 all the way to 6:45. That's 5 hours. So after this accumulation phase, price broke structure to the downside. Now we had to wait for a second one, and the second one that formed was a change of character at around 9:15. Now we couldn't find any valid demand zones to take a trade off of here, so we just stayed away from it, and price broke structure during New York session at 2 p.m. So after this break, this was a very, very valid demand zone to take a trade from. The only reason I didn't take this trade was because, once again, I would have to place my stop at this new validation point here. So this is the validation point, and then I'll have to target a 2.1, which, well, yes, it could have, it easily hit it, but then I can't take such trades because of how wide the stop loss is. Anyway, so moving over to AUDUSD. Now on AUDUSD, markets went bearish immediately the day opened, and it broke structure at around 4 o'clock. After breaking structure, it came back up here and wicked this level, taking liquidity in the process to engineer this move where it broke structure. After breaking the structure, this place would have been a nice place also to take a trade. But then again, the stop loss would have been so wide. Today's stop loss, like the market was just so random, so volatile that stop loss placement was seriously a problem. Anyway, so that's it. This would have actually been a nice trade to be on, but it just seemed like the stop loss was too wide. But then again, for those that caught this trade, kudos to you guys. Price broke structure at this point, and then there was not anything. Now, my own rule is that once I take or I see a trade, whether it's a win or a loss, I don't take any extra trade on that pay, so that I'll limit my risks. But anyway, that's it on AUDUSD. Now, you guys should like the video if you're enjoying the content. Drop it, also comment, share it to everyone you know, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. We are currently at 79 subscribers. We'll soon enter 80. I can't wait. So the target is 100 by the end of this month. So I'll be heading into the next month with 100 plus subscribers. So turn on the notification button too on X, follow me on Facebook too, on TikTok, Instagram, and Telegram. Subscribe, join my community. All the links will be in the description. So back to the charts. Moving over to NZDUSD. NZDUSD was just ranging throughout Asian session, and it finally broke structure at 6:45, close to the beginning of London session. So as it's accumulated throughout Asian session, it finally broke structure, and then it's kind of dumped all the way down. There wasn't any valid. The place I would have used as a valid supply zone would have been here, but price didn't go all the way up there. It's entered from here, and there's no way I would have taken that trade, because yes, there's no way I would have taken this trade because it's so far away from everything. Now, the break of structure occurred here, and there wasn't any valid supply zones to take a trade from. That was how I didn't take anything on NZDUSD. Now, on USDCAD, price started bullish with the 2 breaks of structure. After the break of the second one, there wasn't a valid demand zone, so price came down here to take liquidity before breaking structure. After that, there wasn't also any demand zone here, so there wasn't anything to do there. We had to wait for the next break of structure. Now, after this next one, this was the zone I would have probably wanted to trade from, but price didn't come all the way down there. It just retraced to below the 50% level, let's say maybe the 33% level or so, and then it broke structure. Now, the zone it used to fuel the move was this one, and I couldn't take it because it was far away from the invalidating level, which was here. So after the break of structure, price has just been accumulating. As this is evening time, nothing serious should be happening there. And finally, on USDCHF, we had the break of structures to the downside, and price changed character at this level before changing character again to the downside. Now there's nothing here as usual. So the underlying factor here is once you've gotten your buyers for the day, you need to look out for valid supply and demand zones that are close to the invalidating level, below the 50% or above the 50% for a buy or a sell respectively. So that's just it. That's all I do. I just wait for when I see my valid setup. If it's not valid, if it's far away from the invalidating level, I will not take the trade. So that's it, guys. Everything I did for today, I was just watching the charts. Nothing really happened. So thank you guys. Once again, like the video, drop a comment, share it, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and turn on the notification button. Then follow me on all my other platforms and join my Telegram channel. Thank you guys, and we'll see you again later. Bye.